Ugh, what the fuck? It was once written in the United States Declaration of Independence that all men are created equal. But the same cannot be said of Flesh and Blood cards. Some cards are powerhouse staples, others are more niche and refined in their role, and others still are, well, Runeblades are, by far and away, one of the most fair and balanced classes in all of Flesh and Blood. I mean, sure, they can send split damage, create massive combo turns, they've got card draw, searching, disruption, and they've got some of the most broken hero abilities in the game, but they've also got Skyfire Lanterns. Releasing in Dynasty, this wonderful little 2-block comes in all 3 colors, and each one reveals the top card of your deck. If the revealed card matches the pitch color of the Skyfire Lanterns, you create a single rune chant token. But hey, it's got Go Again. This card absolutely sucks. Like, sure, it's a 0 cost with Go Again, that's great, but having to hit the same pitch color on top of your deck just to make a single rune chant, like, really? For that amount of RNG, you could have probably gotten away with making 3, but at least 2 rune chants would have made this, I mean, still unplayable, but at least better. Just like Waterglow Lanterns from the last episode I did a while ago, there is no reason to run this card, and that's even before Rosetta gave us enough rune chant generation to fuel a holy war. And in a world where we now have Deadwood Dirge, Malefic Incantation, and even Arcane Cussing, the only reason you have to play Skyfire Lanterns is to make your opponent stop to read it, because there ain't no one who even remembers that it exists, let alone what it does. See, playing Runeblades means 2 things. 1, you're probably a virgin, and 2, you already have to balance your attack and non-attack actions. So do you really want to be forced into trying to maximize your pitch for the payoff of maybe making 1 rune chant? No, you don't want to do that. Skyfire Lanterns is a bad card, and it should feel bad for being one. If you were to look up the definition of cringe in the dictionary, you would find 2 things. 1, a catalog of my entire body of work on this YouTube channel, and 2, reinforced steel. Like Skyfire Lanterns, this Guardian action comes from Dynasty, and also like Skyfire Lanterns, it's total ass. Coming in Rainbow, this 2-cost 3-block has one simple ability. It removes a single counter from one of your Guardian offhands with either 3, 2, or 1 base defense. No, it does not have Go Again, no, it does not remove more than a single counter, and no, it will not make your father finally proud of you. In order to properly examine Reinforced Steel, we need to take a look at the shield that released alongside it, Seasoned Savior. This is a shield that has a whopping 3-block with Battle Worn, but also starts with 2 -1 counters on it. Now, if there's ever a hero that's built around shields and counters, I could see Seasoned Savior being playable, but as it stands, your only options for removing the counters are Never Yield, which is never played, and of course, Reinforced Steel. See, on the surface, you could maybe see the utility in playing Reinforced Steel, since removing a counter from your shield to get more block later could be good, except you're probably just way better off using the 3-block on Reinforced Steel itself, but it could maybe possibly be good to bank an extra shield block for later. On some planet, maybe. But the thing that makes this card truly so god-awful isn't the restrictiveness of its abilities. No, what makes this card suck so much ass is the fact that it doesn't even have the common decency to have Go Again. I mean, come on, it is a Guardian card. You know, the class that gets to attack once every turn. Not only are you running this card and spending 2 resources just to remove a single counter from a shield, but you're also giving up being able to attack on that turn as well. No, you know what? Yeah, I'd love to give up the entire tempo of a game just to remove a single -1 counter from my shield. What a great use of 2 cards and my whole ass turn. Now, to be fair, this card does say that it works on offhand equipment, and there is a world where Guardians get a super broken shield or a different type of offhand that makes this card slightly more playable. But even then, considering you have to end your turn by playing this, I just do not see it ever actually being a good card. Even if we do see an offhand or a hero that is so busted it makes Reinforced Steel playable, let's be honest with ourselves, folks. They'll probably also come with a whole set of actually playable cards to use over this one. So you'll have to forgive me, but I'm going to continue to treat Reinforced Steel like it's the shit that I stepped in. Thank you. Releasing all the way back in Crucible of War, Absorption Dome is one of those cards that almost looks good until you take like 2 seconds to think about it. This yellow item has a whole wall of text, but to put it simply, it enters with steam counters for how many times you boosted that turn, and when you would take damage, you remove that many steam counters. Then when it's at 0, it destroys itself. Now again, this almost looks usable. I mean, damage prevention is pretty decent, especially with things like flick knives being a nuisance now. It also costs 0 to play, which is good, and the lack of go again doesn't matter since you want to play it at the end of your turn anyways. But that's about it for the good on this card, because its ability is just total ass. While Mechanologists do have about 18,000 cards that boost, you're pretty much always capping out at just like 3 a turn, maybe 4 if you're lucky. Now, if Absorption Dome got 2 counters for each time you boosted, well, then we'd be looking at a pretty good card. But getting only 1 counter per boost means that this is usually just going to prevent 3 damage at most. You know, the same amount that most cards block for. And what if you draw it when you don't boost a whole lot? What, are you gonna play this out for just 1 or 2? And even if you do boost a bunch, wouldn't you rather just send a maximum velocity? I mean, listen, I may have failed grade 1 math, but I'm pretty sure that 10 is a bigger number than 3. Don't quote me on that though, I'm only pretty sure. But that is not even the worst part about this card. This majestic card, yes, it's a majestic, got strictly power crept by a common from Bright Lights. Dissolving Shield is an item that basically does the exact same thing, except you don't need to boost, you can choose when to use its ability, and it has crank, meaning that it synergizes with everything that revolves around that mechanic. I mean, what more can I say? Absorption Dome getting power crept by a common card has to be one of the most embarrassing states a card in this game could be in. The only thing more embarrassing than that would be a card releasing a few years into the game that's objectively worse than one printed in the very first set, but like, I'm sure that's never happened. Dusk Till Dawn is undoubtedly one of the Flesh and Blood sets of all time. Taking place directly after the events of Monarch, this non-draftable set brought in a new Prism, Vincent, and Demons French Kissing Dead People. Listen, DTD was a weird set full of cards that made it feel like it was supposed to be a draft set, but got changed to a supplemental set halfway through. Now, apparently that was never the case, and the set was never planned to be draftable, but then that leaves us with a few questions. Why does Grim Feast exist? Why is it a rare? And more importantly, why are there Demons French Kissing Dead People? Grim Feast is a shadow action that costs 3, only blocks 2, and has Blood Debt. If you play it from Banish, however, it does reduce its cost to just 1, which seems decent, so what do you get for all of that? A Sigil of Solace. Except they didn't make it cost 0, they didn't make it an instant or give it go again, and they also gave it Blood Debt, because of course it has to have the potential to deal you as much damage over a few turns as it heals you. Now first up, are we sure that DTD wasn't supposed to be draftable? Because like, this is giving me major 7th pick and draft vibes. Just, why would you ever run this? Why doesn't it at least have go again? I mean, come on, I know that LSS reined Vincent in so they wouldn't have a Chain 2.0 situation, but let's be real. Do you really think that after jumping through the hoops of banishing this and paying 1 to gain 3 life, that go again was going to break it? Because where I'm standing, even if this didn't immediately end your turn, it still wouldn't be playable. Like, I wish I had more to say about Grim Feast, but it's literally just a worse Sigil of Solace in every way. I mean, sure, it's a shadow card, so it has a tiny amount of synergy there, but you can also just run literally any good shadow card in its place. I mean, I guess if you're into French Kissing Dead People, you might like it, but if that's the case, I think you might have some more pressing problems than trying to figure out if you should play this or not, you know? Honestly, it almost feels like Grim Feast's only purpose for existing is to make other cards in the set look better by comparison. But considering the last card on this list, I don't think it even fills that role. Have you ever looked at a Flesh and Blood card and genuinely lost a little bit of your will to live? Because that's what happened to me when I first saw Glaring Impact. Same as Grim Feast, this Light Warrior card released in Dusk Till Dawn to a rousing chorus of... why? Bolden is one of those heroes that no matter how many cards he gets, still just never seems to be quite strong enough. Like, on one hand, he's got the busted as hell triple Lumina combo, but on the other hand, he's got a 3-card 4 with Overpower. Sorry, let me say that again in case you didn't hear me correctly. Glaring Impact costs 1 to play, meaning you have to pitch a card. Then when you send it, it asks you to also charge a card. That means that including itself, you are spending 3 cards in hand to attack for a grand total of 4 Overpower. It's at this point that I should be making a joke, but honestly, I'm just flabbergasted that this card even exists. Like, who designed this card? Why waste development time, a slot in the set, the admittedly sick as hell artwork, the ink, and the cardboard for a 3-card 4? Like, do you realize how actually awful this thing is? Prism, a hero that has twice now been in the same sets as Bolton, gets 3-card 14s. Aurora had consistent 3-card 12s. Even from the very first set of the game, you had Reinar with a 3-card 9 with Intimidate, which isn't even that good by today's standards, but it sure as hell beats a 3-card 4. Like, I know it's a meme that Bolton has terrible rates, but this is just insultingly bad. This card could have easily cost 0 and had Dominate instead of Overpower at least, because like, it only attacks for 4. Well, the red one does, because oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, Glaring Impact wasn't insulting enough to just be a red. Oh no. It also comes in yellow and blue because just one card slot wasn't bad enough. Meaning that this is either a 3-card 4, a 3-card 3, or a 3-card 2. With Overpower. Again, I'd make a joke, but Glaring Impact is just actually depressing. The fact that this even exists, I can't, man. I just can't with this one. 3 cards for 4 freaking damage. I'm gonna go 3-card off myself because I don't see the point in this card or life now for that matter. So, looks like I'm gonna be running this channel from here on out. Don't worry though, my tolerance for terrible cards is a bit higher than Sloopdoop, so I'll be sticking around for a while. But if you want to try and break my soul, leave a comment with your worst card suggestions for the next episode. Until then, thank you for watching, and an extra special thanks to the patrons. Huge shoutouts to the Giga Chads Geeks First, Elixir, Vinny, John, Ty, Chemical, Bryant, Dark Memoria, and Big Hungry. Then we've got the Alpha Chads Thomas, Zajima, and Approximo, and then there's the Super Chads Cece, Ben, Yogbadoodles21, Kevin, and Wolf Shadowmancer. Thanks again as always, and stay Chadly, my friends.